Hi, welcome to 30 Day Abs. I'm Tamara and it's a day 7. So if you're doing these every day, then you've made it through a week of abs by the time we're done today. And if you're doing it not quite every day, you're still doing 7 days of abdominal work. So you're doing great and I hope you will stick it out. I find I don't do as much concentrated abdominal work as I would like to do because it's not the most exciting and flashy and sexy work, but the time you put into it is definitely showing. It's gonna show up and it's gonna feel strong and you're gonna feel a little tighter. So stick it out, and thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad I'm here. So we're gonna continue our pattern. We're doing one set of curl-ups. We're doing one set of something rotational, and then we're gonna do a plank of some sort. We're continuing that pattern, at least for right now. So find yourself a spot on your mat, and we're gonna face up toward the ceiling. And we're gonna do some more reverse curls. So we started with some yesterday, and we held a ball between our knees. You can absolutely do that again if you want to. Today, I'm just keeping my legs free. But I'm gonna have a nice tabletop. I'm starting with my knees a fingertips distance away, and I'm gonna push my lower back into the floor as I peel my tailbone up. I'm not coming all the way up onto my shoulder blades. I'm just picking up my buns off of the ground, and then I'm gonna slowly tap back down. So I'm gonna move really slowly through these because it's very easy to move too fast and swing the legs. And if you do that, what you're doing is you're strengthening the front of the hips, which are already pretty strong, your hip flexors. But if we go slowly and pay attention to keeping that work in the belly, dropping the belly button down as we exhale, like you're squeezing air out of yourself. Your head and shoulders are as relaxed as they're gonna be, as they can be, and you can put a pillow under your head if you have some tight shoulder muscles. Do what you need to do to get the workout that you need. So I wanna do 15 of these like that. And I think that's 15. I'll take a little rest to do something that feels good. And then I'm gonna reset for a second set. Now your second set could look exactly like the first set, or we can make it just a little bit harder by extending actually let's extend our legs up this time. Exhale as we pull in, and then we'll reach up maybe 45 degrees. That's harder than tapping the toes to the floor. It gives you a little bit more pressure. You'll feel it right there at the bottom of your abdomen. And if you don't like that, just go straight back to your toe tap, okay? There's one more variation, so don't spend it all yet. This is our big work today. Your neck is getting a little break right now, I hope. Sometimes people feel a little bit of neck stress from doing too much abdominal work, but it's not necessary, as you can work your abdominals so many different ways. 2 more. And then we'll bring that down. If that was 15, well, I'd be surprised, but that's what I intended. So tab your feet out, lift your hips, shake out your knees, whatever you need to do to feel good in between sets. We have one more set of 15, and it can look exactly like our first set with a toe tap. It can look exactly like our second set with an extension. Or if you feel pretty strong, you can extend your legs almost to the floor. The closer you get to the floor without touching it, the more pressure you're gonna feel. I do want you to watch out for your lower back though on these, because I don't want you to get into a position where you're losing your posture. My ribs are popped up and I wanna keep them down. So you choose, and that's not that or that. There's like 1,000 places in between, right? Maybe you wanna do something fancy. Always okay to be fancy. I gotta do the other side of that now. These are definitely harder, and that pressure feels good. There's a little bit of a fight in the rib cage to keep the whole core stable. And that's how you know it's working, because it's hard. I think I'm gonna do 4 more. Well, I know I'm gonna do 4 more, but I think that's gonna be 15. It's probably more like 17. Breathing the whole time is really important. Good. So do something that feels good. That's the end of our curl ups. Our first segment was 3 sets. Now we're gonna do something a little bit easier for our rotations today, or at least a little bit quicker. So your feet can be open wide. If that feels better, it's a little bit more stable. You can keep your feet narrow. I'm touching my feet and knees together. You can put your arm out to the side for support, or you can bring it back behind the head, or you can keep it down by your side, or anything else that feels good. We're gonna take one arm and reach it out toward the opposite knee. I've picked my head up off the floor, and I've picked up one shoulder off of the floor, whichever arm position I've chosen. And I'm just gonna pulse 30 times. Exhale every time I lift. Both hips stay on the ground. Just 30 little pulses. That was 15. And I'm gonna do 10 more. Just a little twist. And then I'm gonna relax. So I felt that a little bit here, I felt that a little bit here, felt that a little bit here. All of it's good. I'm gonna do the other side now. 30 pulses. I'm gonna turn around so I can see you. You could do this with your feet elevated if you wanted it to be harder. I could have offered that on the first set. There's always a way to make it harder, and there's always a way to make it easier. Right now, what I'm trying to do is keep my hips relaxed, my glutes relaxed, my tailbone driving into the ground, and let my midsection do that whole range of motion. And I'm breathing. I know I'm breathing as I'm talking, but you might need to remind yourself to keep doing it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That was probably something like 30. Now, our last bit of work is going to be a plank. So, as always, you can do this on hands and or knees and or elbows and or feet. So what we're going to do today is just toe taps. So we're going to do 20 toward the center, and we're going to do 20 to the side. How can you do that from the knees? You can. Probably a little bit slower, but it can be done. And then when we go to the side, we're just going to tap it out thusly. I'm going to do this today from my hands, just because I usually opt for the elbows, and I'm going to do it up on my toes. Belly is tight, shoulder blades are strong, elbows a little bit soft if you're up on your hands, and we'll go 20. Rib cage lifts. Do you need a break in between? You can take one. Otherwise, when you're ready, we're going to do tap side for 20. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're lifting up your belly. 8, 7, 6, 5. And when you're done, stretch back. Do something that feels good. And you did the work today. Good job. Thank you for coming. I hope I will see you again tomorrow.